said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch! You filthy... State of fear. Welcome back to Flyover State of Fear with Brian and myself. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good. Yeah, we're back at it. Episode 2 of the new run.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it. I'm happy. I was looking forward to this.
I know. I pushed it on you once.
I was thinking about this. You can answer this better. Have you guys done? We haven't done a Hellraiser movie. Did you do one before?
I did.
I came on full time.
Yeah. So we did Hellraiser. And I say we as just the show. Hellraiser, the original with Petros. Forget his last name. The dude who runs the Nick Cage podcast and Willem Dafoe podcast.
Okay, yeah.
He's from Britain, and I feel like, somewhere in England. And that was like, it was early in the show getting guests, and it was like, I want to do Hellraiser. So I talked about it quite a bit ago.
And original Hellraiser, I mean, it's Clive Barker. It got English sensibilities in my mind. It's always
different ages. But when we went over, this summer I went to London, and eventually, you sort of talk to people, meet people, and this. Anytime I brought up horror, most people, I would say young boomer to Gen X would be who we talked to most of that, all said, but I love Clive Barker's Hellraiser, like the original. I always think that's a crazy one to pull. I know culturally you got the same language, but like,
I know, like, that's your boy, like, you know what I mean? That's like
three people that told me that, and it like said about the same kind of age and person type, but still every time I'm like, weird, like a relatively weird pick, only because the first one, and I always put 1 and 2 together in that, are so, in a great way, gross and disturbing, and like,
oh yeah, they're hardcore for their era for sure.
They're not.
I remember that being like one of the first movies I heard about. I heard an adult be like, "Oh, I had to turn that off."
They're not.
I couldn't get through that.
Yeah, let's just start talking about it. Fuck it. There's no need to go through.
I was gonna say. I mean, I didn't mean to.
No. That's good.
Well, we can still have a little pre-conversation because I did want to get. I know not everybody who watches this may have followed us for as many years. And one Halloween we did these movies. I think I was the one who went over these. Maybe
did you do the Hellraisers?
I think it might have been the first year I got the Hellraisers.
It's been a goal of mine, and I've always failed. Like I've really, I own one now I owned 2022.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Well, that was where I was kind of going, was forgetting that we've talked about this, because I don't remember what I said. It was a long time ago, and I was probably drunk.
Halloween,
what's your kind of vibe? Like, how do you feel about the franchise?
I love the first 2. It's been years. I still need to revisit 3. You're always telling me 3 is pretty solid.
I mean, I was gonna say, I think weirdly, people really hate on the 4th one.
Is the
First
fourth
of all,
one?
We should say right off the bat, there's actually maybe 9 or 11 Hellraisers.
A dumb amount.
So many, and it became one of those franchises where people would dump a horror script and they would just turn it into a Hellraiser movie because it was a way to get it made.
And it was
and
just
it would maybe get Doug Bradley, and then after a while they couldn't get Doug Bradley, they bring in someone else.
I actually got good. So I watched some special features on that. It was also just a way to retain rights.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like when they kept making Fantastic Four movies. They were like, we want to hold on to these rights.
I've seen 2 of those.
most people don't even like the fourth one that much,
Mhm.
and anything past that is pretty much garbage. You can kind of just like let that,
Uh-huh.
you can just like cast that off on an ice flow and forget about it. But as far as the first four movies go, I actually think four's a little better than three.
Okay.
I think I would go like one, two, four, three, even though four's the in space one and that it's
Is
got
it,
silly elements to it. But I still think three's a little three
three and
felt like a
four?
sequel that they had to make, that they were like, well, they were trying to do the Freddy and Jason thing. They're like, well, we've got a guy now, and it's got, when you got a horror guy, you get a franchise going. Like when they made the third Candyman, and it felt like that too. It
Yeah.
feels very much just like a slasher sequel,
Well,
you
that's
know?
the thing. I feel like I was say that it's interesting you say that because none of the Hellraiser that I've experienced, because they immediately stops after that. It's the guy who's a slasher that's not slasher at all because the way they pop up, the way the stories are, they're
Right.
seasoning to almost seasoning to the story, not the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, but I I've that's funny you say that. So I've seen one, two. I would say
One and two
equally.
also are like way up
Yeah,
here, and then everything else, even the other ones I like, I would give a
I've seen
wide berth
equally.
to.
I've seen like three once. It's really vague in my head. I need the reason for that. I haven't seen four, and then
And I don't mean to disparage three as far as like horror movies from that era go. It's pretty good. I just mean in
right,
the
you're
ranking,
fine.
people rag on four a lot, and I think
Because it's in
they're at least
space.
kind of comparable to each other. You
Yeah.
know,
No, and then after that, I've seen two of the like shit ones, almost as like bits of
one's
like
got
last
Henry
few years.
Cavill in it.
Well, that's one I've seen. It's cool. That's like Hell World. It's the one on the
Yeah,
internet.
it's like the internet one, right?
Yeah, I've watched that. It's almost unwatchable. And the other one that's almost
It's
unwatchable,
so bad.
I think it's Hellraiser Inferno, and I only watched it because it has the actor who played Keith Scott. He's Craig Schaefer. He's
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, he's the I think it's a bad noir like neo noir
That's one of
movie.
those that was the one where the twist at the end is that like it's his own personal hell. It's
Yeah,
like the Cenobites were messing with him in a different way. They were
yeah,
like doing this kind of
and
like
it's
almost
Phil.
like a Jacob's ladder thing with him.
Yes,
Like,
and he's a detective, but a bad guy, and it's terrible. Uh,
yeah.
so those two I watch for like goof reasons. But
Yeah.
no, I remember looking really forward to the 2022 Hellraiser on Hulu. It was like those trailers look
Oh,
good, it
that's the
looked
thing that I
clean.
remember about Inferno, and I wanted to mention. It's off, but it's directed by Scott Derrickson, and he's the guy who went on to do the first Doctor Strange, and he did the Black Phone. He's done both the Black
Yes.
Phones now. I knew there was something about Inferno that was worth remembering.
Yep, that okay,
It's
it's a
terrible.
oh yeah, that's the correct one. Okay.
Yeah,
Scott.
make no mistake, it's very bad, but it's funny that the director did go on to actually make a name for himself and
Yeah,
do
he made
okay.
some solid movies.
Yeah, I
Sinister.
mean, Sinister's not my bag, but a lot of people like that one too.
Yeah, we had a good convo about that in this show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely worth a talk.
Exorcism of Emily Rose, I remember being creepy.
Probably the second best Exorcist movie. Like, there's a lot of Exorcist movies.
Mhm.
It's one of the top. I would put it in the top
Yeah.
five, maybe.
I like the Black Phone. I've yet to watch
Yeah,
two.
Black Phone. Have you watched two yet?
No.
I wanted. I feel almost the same way about Black Phone and Black Phone 2 is that they were both pretty good, but I feel like I can see a better movie.
Mm.
It's like Ethan Hawke is like coming from a slightly better movie into this one, and I want to go to the movie he's from. You know,
You know what? I felt that in the first one a bit. I remember going,
it's not neither terrible. I would put him in the range of like that first Conjuring movie, like good pop horror, good. You know what I mean?
uh-huh,
Like very accessible to like your average horror fan, not
sure.
you know a nice a decent normie horror movie.
I got you, son. So anyway,
Back to Hellraiser.
yeah, so today we're gonna just go right in of David Bruckner's
Bruckner, yeah,
Hellraiser,
this is 2022. This came
who's
out
one of
straight to
your
Hulu.
straight to Hulu, which kind of stinks. This is a COVID movie, so it has
Mm.
those
Would have been
limitations.
great to see this one, much like Prey. Would have loved to see this one in the theater.
I wish this got the like fanfare Prey did. Hellraiser is such a harder,
Yeah.
like we said earlier, talking a bit ago.
it's a
It's such
bigger
a
ask because these are very, weird movies.
yeah.
Although I will say this one, the horniness level is way down
So
compared to the
it's
originals.
because it's thematically about addiction.
Well, yeah, I know, but so's the other ones, and they were still managed to be horny.
Yeah, it's not as horny. It's so I actually watched all the behind the scenes or what was given. So I got this listener this
Beautiful
this beautiful
German.
media book. They made steel books too of the movie, but it's from Germany and there's like this really nice booklet in
Yeah,
it.
'cause
It's
here
all
in
in
America, they don't
German.
release physical media for most good
And
things.
it's kind of what we're talking about today because it was like, you drp $60 on a thing and you want to watch
He
it.
can write it if we do a podcast on it. He can write it off on his taxes.
And now that we're talking that way, hey, I put a $350 Criterion charge on tax write-off. Um,
Yeah, baby.
no, but it's a very cool piece, and I was listening to some of the special features of it, and yeah, it's weird. Their goal was very much to make like they were like was to reset it, right? I think it was David S. Goyer and who wrote like the first treatment of this.
I saw his name on there. Did
Well,
he
so
maybe? Yeah.
he had like the first treatment of it. He's like, there's two other guys who really wrote it, but him and whatever team, when the rights lapsed for the Hellraiser other movies, and they flat out say it, they go, they were just making them. They were,
Oh, I
they
mean, I
were.
can believe based on the quality of some of those sequels, that does not surprise
The
me.
writer just said, oh yeah, they were just making them keep the rights, like and so they jumped on it and went through some production, and then when Bruckner and the guys who wrote the Night House, the same team, the three of them, when it came to the writers' desks, they were like brought it to Bruckner, and then it all got going.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I don't know. We've talked about David Bruckner before. People who are maybe watching it haven't
yeah,
watched
it's one of
every
your
episode might not
favorites.
know, but director of The Ritual, one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years as far as horror movies go.
Hmm.
Also, The Night House you just mentioned, really cool, which I feel like he brought some of the visual style from The Night House, and actually he does some of it in The Ritual too, the shifting of realities and like in and out of
They
different, that
talk
really comes
about
into
that,
play
like,
in this one. Obviously, he's got an incredible visual style, and
mhm.
honestly a really great hit streak as far as I'm concerned, as
Yeah,
far for a
it's
new director.
and um, so they come to do this, and their goal is to like be like it feels like because it feels like a Hellraiser movie. It looks like one, but they're like we're gonna
Oh
read.
no,
They were
absolutely. Like I think they, aside from like I said, it feels, and not to say it's not even that horny. They start off with our main
no, no,
character,
no, which
they
is
like fuck and stuff.
which is
But I just mean
exactly
in general, there's just kind of not that simmering kind of
which
like passion. I mean that Julia Frank thing is missing.
no, there's it's significantly less horny, and I think it's on purpose. She is definitely. By the way, you are introduced to Odessa Azuna in the same way in Marty
Yeah.
Supreme.
Oh, are you
Like it's just like your first introduction is her having sex.
having sex?
Yeah.
I didn't. This is the first thing I think I ever saw her in, but I don't. For people who don't know, her mother is Pamela Adlon, who's a comedian that you might know from. She was on Californication, but she was
Bobby
also
Hill.
like she worked a lot with Louis C.K. She was in both his shows.
Yeah.
Um,
She
Back when you're allowed to like Louis C.K., I used to watch those shows.
no, she yeah, she's becoming pretty popular, but no, this is definitely the first movie I
Yeah, I was
think.
just going to mention she just had a big hit with Marty Supreme, obviously, so that's going to be where most people know her from now.
Hmm. But this is like I think looking at our IMDb right now, this is like the first thing. I think has to be her first lead. There's like
Yeah,
a
had she maybe
hand.
done some maybe like niche TV show
There's
appearances or
come
something
film and
before
TV
that?
show like I've been working since like 2018 ish,
But this is like her
17.
first big lead.
Has to be, and she's pretty good in it. It's nothing.
Oh yeah, I think she's good. Honestly, she's a great Hellraiser protagonist, much like Julia and Frank. Kirsty less so, but she's flawed, and I think that makes your protagonists are interesting. In the you know, Kirsty's a
Mhm.
she's a good heroine and she's smart and she does a good job. She's a good final girl.
She's a
But
good
like,
final girl. I
but
don't.
the people you are most interested in those movies are Frank and the doctor, and and it's just
It's a good pivot, dude. Of So other thing in this is just like a few other like notes from like learning about the thing that stood out to me. Clive Barker was involved almost in the later end of it. Like they would send him things as a producer, but like
when we get to it, I was going to ask about the different, like being more specific about the different configurations and if he had a hand in that or if that
that's
was
all
pre-existing lore that
no, I don't know if
existed.
that's the lore there, but that's all the it's probably in this book. I could look real quick. That's all the writers. They went through a lot of that in this like hour long.
They like we'll talk about it more when we get into
But
it, but that's a cool element.
but Clive Barker was like basically just giving constructive criticism to like notes. Nothing that was like it's like, yeah, you guys do your own thing. Uh Doug Bradley was supposed to be they asked him to do a cameo, but more it sounds more because of COVID like restrictions. They're filming in 2021. He was like, nah, I'd rather just keep Hellraiser legacy alive and not muddle it. And you
That's fair, honestly, like especially in an era where you're kind of like seeing a lot of that legacy sequel and a lot of people clinging to the nostalgia. It's a little refreshing to not even have him in it at all, like to not
yeah,
even have the callback, the almost obligatory callback.
and they go through like there's like reasons of like they're all more in white now, and then they were like they thought the like black leather like that's very 80s. It might not play the same scare. And what I like about this movie, we'll start going through it, is it's a
But
nice
also they
blend.
can keep some of that too,
A little bit, yeah, but it's a nice blend. Oh, I got him right here. I'm realizing it's a nice
Oh,
blend of like the first movie being that like down and gritty, and then the second it's like sci-fi-ish, right? Like there's like a blend
yeah.
of that in this one. Like this, I think there's things that are like, oh, they're blending the like things from the
Well, and
first three movies.
we can even talk about it as we just in the very kind of early parts when you first see the big mansion, in like the second scene, almost the
Yeah.
opening scene. There's shades of Bloodlines with the kind of like building that also acts as a box in its own way and a
Yes.
trap in its own way. That's something that's been in the franchise before. So much like what you see in some of the like legacy sequels, like with the Halloweens, they kind of they're less blatant about it, but they aren't forgetting everything. There are pieces
Well,
from
the in this
the sprinkling of classic Hellraiser is
yeah,
definitely here.
like when they go to the hospital and it becomes a labyrinth again. I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
just right out of two.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, so they kind of begin, and if I remember things, and I have notes, but I'm trying not to look at them. Sprinkle in some of that. So like, yeah, the movie starts with the this like mansion party, this like orgy, this very like Epstein like party.
Yeah, real
Uh,
eyes wide shut kind of.
yeah,
We
and
see a clandestine meeting where the box is picked up and now and which felt a little unnecessary. I was like, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
it was cool to see kind of where
it's
it came from or whatever. It's
it's
just
yeah, it
just like a
doesn't.
creepy. It all adds to the flavor, right?
It does. You, it's
I'm just
weird.
like, as I'm watching, I'm watching the first scene in the mansion. I'm like, did I really need to see her get it from a guy on a bus stop bench? Does that matter?
No, no, it doesn't. But they added it.
Yeah, but there you
Um,
go. But anyway, it matters so much that they immediately are at a party at a
they're at
big
a
mansion.
party, and
They're in
then
the
this
Berkshires, which is in I don't
and
know,
this one
somewhere.
dude is like getting his finds the box on display and opens it, and this rich dude watches him get murdered or murdered by the
Right.
Cenobites.
We,
And
we have the line from his. I guess maybe this is the whole reason that that scene exists is because his assistant who goes to pick up the box does mention that Voight never does anything he can get someone to do for him,
yes,
and so he basically
it's a big
gets
part
this kid
of
to. It's very much like Bryan Singer coded with like the young, pretty, boy being
Oh,
manipulated by the older rich man to like do it. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
definitely saw that in that scene. Like
I
he's
was going thinking
kind
there,
of
but
looks like a
yeah,
vulnerable twink, you know?
sure. Because even she's like, "You having fun?" He's like, "Yeah, but more. Sure. What's back here?"
Yeah,
So he did
absolutely.
that, and I think it's real. The use of chains in this movie is real fun. That's their like calling card.
I
Um,
also like the first time we see the box, that perspective shift where you see the familiar end that we're used to seeing, but then it shifts and you see that it's like a weird kind of stretched twist.
so
It's the first time that you see the different one of the different
so that's
configurations,
what's
which
different. That's what I
becomes
was.
a big part of the movie.
There's six configurations.
Mhm.
I should have wrote it down, but it's like
I did when we get to the part where she researches in my
yeah,
notes, I'll go over them. I
yeah.
talked to,
There's six
like I said,
configure.
that's the part that I really liked about this. As far as somebody
It's
who like has seen these movies enough to be like, ooh, new lore, neat, you know.
yeah, and it's I think it's a fun edit, Lord. So go there. Although yeah, I'll get to it when we get to it. So anyway, then we jump. I think it's like 7 years later,
6 year
six
time
years
jump.
later,
Yep.
6 years later, to Riley banging out her some guy, and they're in a they're just in a I'd say early.
Guy she met in you find out she met in recovery.
But
This
guys, she
dude
met
that
in
she's
recovery.
banging.
She's living with her brother and his boyfriend, and there's like another group of friends
Another
there,
roommate, Nora, the other girl.
and there's I mean I'm just kind of getting the breeze of it. There's some tension. You can tell she's had her issues, and he's like, her brother's not wrong. She's like,
I mean, we can just say it. She's a loser. You
yeah,
know, she's been an addict, and now she's trying to get her shit together. But like, she's not. You know, she probably struggles to keep a regular job, and
she's finding a
she's
boy. She's
hitting miss on
finding
the rent, and she's
a
banging dudes she met in recovery and
yeah. Her
stuff. So
brother's right. Her brother and his boy
yeah,
were
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Like
100%.
you should be hanging around this guy.
Yeah.
That's whatever. But she does, and she runs off with him, and then the dude is like the recovery guys, whose name is
Trevor.
Trevor. Thank you.
Her brother is Matt.
Yeah,
Trevor,
and Colin,
Nora, and then the other guy, the
Colin,
boyfriend I wrote, Colin. Colin.
and they're you know, she's like, no, 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 I want to hang out, blah blah blah, and guess what she does? And the dude is like, hey, want to make some money? They're talking about money,
Well,
kind of,
she's
or
complaining
like
about needing money,
jobs,
like we
yeah.
talked about.
And he's like, ah,
Her
I'll
brother's
split.
getting on her because she can't pay the rent and
Yeah,
she's
he's like, I'll
struggling or
split it with
whatever.
you. There's this warehouse that like no one's watching. Some rich guy. I know the code. We could go in and just take care of it.
Yeah, he's just like they left this one shipment they never came back for. It's been there a long time. We can go get it.
Excuse
Whatever it is
me.
in there.
And they do. Um,
And also, we should note that he gets her to drink. He like
oh,
gives her
you're,
the
yeah.
old. He's drinking, and he gives her the old shot of courage to go do their thing. So, not a good recovery
No,
friend.
no, no, no. And I would their first slippery slope of recovery. Because the good thing is that's something this movie's thematics are is it's like I mean decisions, right? You're like, what's your free will of decision, like all of your free will, or what's in your
Yeah, I mean,
control,
we don't
and
have to jump the gun, but the end of the main idea is definitely like living with your regrets and like
yeah.
owning up to your mistakes and moving on from them and think, you know what I mean? That ends up being a
So
big part of the end
so
of this
taking
movie.
one, taking that shot, or I'm sorry, that drink, and then going to steal it is completely the wrong path of decisions. But she does, and then they get into a safe pretty easily. They show a struggle.
I love I love it's like a warehouse and then it's in a shipping crate and then it's in a safe and then it's in a smaller box and then it is a box.
Yeah, boxes on boxes
It's
on
like a
boxes on
nesting
boxes.
doll of like, and I think part of that is the idea that there were so many chances to not do this. Like you have so many opportunities to stop.
Yeah,
You don't have to break into the warehouse. Once you get in the warehouse, you don't have to break into the shipping
yeah.
crate.
And the
Now
guy
you're in the shipping
going,
crate. You can walk away from the
and the guy
safe.
going, I don't have the code or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Uh,
Anything.
you know, but she does, and they come back and they're like, ah. The one, Trevor's dismissing, and he's like, I don't know what that is, and she's playing
Yeah,
with it.
Trevor's like, I thought it was going to be money or bonds. This sucks. She's it kind of instantly mesmerized by it a little bit in that way
Yeah,
that like
there's a
the way
lore.
they act in the basement and cabin in the woods where things are just like drawing them. Like, oh, you know?
There's an allure to the puzzle box for sure. And
I should have brought. I have my. Oh, I
do you
hate to
have one?
stand up because I hate people to see that I'm wearing pajama pants. But I forgot I have my little lament configuration.
I've
Yeah.
seen them out in the wild, cons and stuff. I've always wanted to buy one.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that you can like adjust and change the shape,
Hmm.
but only has two configurations, so
Yeah,
it's the old one, But
it
it's
would be.
cool. It's fun.
One thing I want to give this.
It's a
Speaking of
nice little
that,
display piece.
speaking of configurations, one thing I want to give this movie big props for, and it's on a lower budget for a movie like this. The commitment to practical effects where they
Oh
can
yeah.
is wonderful.
Yeah, there's some really cool Bruckner does and in the ritual also in Night House, some really cool in-camera stuff. He likes to do like
Yeah,
in-camera visuals and stuff when
he,
he can.
they were saying on that doc that he was like the configurations when they moved on their own they had to be CG and there was like budgetary reasons and things. But for the most part, you know, suits and effects and things like that, they all try to keep in camera with just some cleaning CG up to the point
Yeah.
where actually like most of that doc was like, those special features things getting too bogged down of like, we had all these ideas for Cenobites, we just couldn't practically do them, so we scrapped them because human bodies don't move that way.
Yeah.
Like there was supposed to be
They do. We can talk about it. We'll
there was
talk about it
supposed
when
to
we
be
get to it.
one.
They have some good designs in this
Oh,
one.
we'll get to the designs
There's
in a
some good
bit.
original designs, and there's some good nods to some classic Cenobite designs, which
There
I
was
think is
supposed to be
nice.
one of like a person's limbs as widened out as they can and body completely out, and it was
Yeah.
supposed to like wrap around like the
Okay.
girl, the
Like almost
roommate
make a
Nora,
cage around
kinda,
somebody.
and they just couldn't get it done. And there was a real neat thing. So they filmed this in Serbia.
It looks like it was filmed in Serbia. I'm
Well, I
not
have a
gonna lie.
note of actually we're getting right there. So when she goes to the park,
Mhm.
I'm like, I wrote it down. I'm like, American parks don't look like this. Where is this filmed? And I'm like,
This
Serbia. I'm
park
like,
is not in America. This park is in wherever they filmed "Let Me In," "Let the Right
yeah,
One In."
yeah.
That's where
It's
this park is.
because there's art direction, but they were able to film in Serbia. But what they found, which made it even harder, they were like, oh great, gonna be easy. Is there's not many like mansions in Serbia, so what they
Sure.
use, they were like perfect. They were like, we're filming a Hellraiser movie, but we can't throw blood anywhere because all that nice marble would stain it. And he's like, we can't use those
Yeah.
rubber blood things or CG. And so they just had to, they loved like everything about like what was in this, like one of the few mansions they could find, which one we're in at the end, which actually helped the Cenobite design be like more white and like marble looking.
Okay. Yeah.
But they had to rebuild half those sets on a soundstage and shade almost budget because they couldn't do the effects actually at
Right. They couldn't do all the blood stuff they wanted to do
yeah.
in
So
the actual house.
I thought that was really interesting.
I
Anyway,
appreciate. Hey, like I said, I appreciate the effort. The movie looks, like I said, for the budget and stuff, it looks good. The Cenobites look good.
I don't
Um,
understand people's I think people's dislike of this is
See, I
uh
don't really know what the public
I'm just going
perception of
off a
this movie is.
letterbox and like a few,
Yeah.
looking up on Twitter. I actually dislike. It was like very like a middle of the road reception, but I think it's because it's called Hellraiser.
You think the just standard is just too high?
Yeah, because let's be real, this is probably the second best Hellraiser movie, if that third.
Yeah, it's if not second, definitely third.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a conversation for later. So, Riley gets into it with her brother, right? Like after kind of finding out that she like went away
Right.
with
She
her.
comes home drunk and he gets mad at her,
Yeah. And
obviously.
he's like, you gotta leave, which, if you ever dealt with sort of addicts and things like that, it hits that point after quite a bit, where it's like, no, I'm not your babysitter anymore.
Right, he clearly has been trying, you know what I mean? And he feels betrayed. He feels like obviously he's like, same thing. She's also feeling controlled. She's like, are you here to help me or are you just here to make me feel bad about this? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's addict stuff.
that's that. Yeah.
It's all done pretty well. It feels very realistic as far as I can
Yes.
tell. It's from in my experience.
And so she goes to, I don't know, she clear
Not to an American park
to
that we all are
American Park
familiar
in
with,
Massachusetts
just like America.
and takes a couple pills, plays with a box, gets a little tiny cut.
Well, that's the thing we established with the first guy at the mansion. That's another bit of new lore is that the box, before it changes configuration, takes a blood sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
It like spring loads a
And
little
it
spike and cuts you,
seeps really into the
and
box.
then the blood goes in, and then the Cenobites show up and take usually whoever's hand got cut.
Mhm.
But it can be
This
you
one
can
thing,
much like Kirsty does in the original. You can pass it off if you could. Let's put it this way: the Cenobites you can deal with a Cenobite. You know what I mean? That's why I was thought about if I had to pick between Jason and a Cenobite, I'll go with a Cenobite because it might end up worse like that. It might be a horrible torture, but I might also be able to talk my way out of it.
maybe. You also, I
There's definitely a
typically,
little monkey's paw stuff going on
you
with the
got, you
Cenobites. They're
typically,
definitely looking to trick you. They're looking to trick you and trap you.
well, so that's what I think is different about these Cenobites too, is they're a little more, they're playing with their food a lot more than I
Yeah, I'll
think
tell you
the
what I
OG.
noticed about one of them is he was fucking huge. He looked like he was about 6'7". The one I'm gonna jump ahead just a minute, but she sends basically a modern version of Chatter after
Oh,
him, and he
huge.
like backs him. He's like the way he walked. I was like, oh my god, I did not realize he was so big. That's very intimidating. Like,
I think, I mean, they're scary, these
oh,
Cenobites.
they're very the we I don't
You
want to jump around too
just
much,
talk
but
about it.
there's one that I want to kind of call the wedgie face, whose
Oh,
like skin is like pulled up over and
yeah,
kind of wheezing and
do I have a note of that one? The asphyxiation one. That's
yeah,
literally what it's
like it's
supposed, their thought.
being like asphyxiated with their own flesh, which is a very classic Cenobite thing there. Also, I felt like there was a what did I
Do you know what they
what was my
call,
note here?
do you know what they called the one female?
I was what I want to call it was circular influences, where it's like very obvious that the Hellraiser movies influenced Silent Hill, and then there's stuff in here that feels like a little like Silent Hill,
The
like,
Chatterbox looks so much more like a Silent Hill or
yeah,
like
yeah.
Resident Evil, like later, like thing. The other, while you're just talking about the Cenobite, the ones we really see, the female Cenobite,
Who does
the
have, like I said, the
bitch.
chatter and the female both feel like nods to
Yeah.
our like
So
original Cenobite.
she's supposed to be like that. Oh God, I forget what they called the original one, but what they called this one was pretty funny. So they called it the Gasp, like publicly, because the original name was the Gape, and they're like, I know it's a Hellraiser movie, but like we still can't be
We still
running
can't
around.
call it the
Yeah,
gate.
yeah.
We got to draw the line
But they did
somewhere.
reveal that the writers, like the two guys are sitting there, were like laughing about it. They're like, ah,
So you got
um,
goatsy on your
yeah.
chest.
And then like there's they have a pregnant one, which is really is interesting. However, if you want to look
And a
at
little
that,
upsetting,
yes,
right?
because learning how people have to become Cenobites is
Yeah.
and then the
And which again, one of my favorite
one that
things
doesn't
that they
have a
kind of
brain.
introduced into is seeing that kind of creation, and they bring it back in the end of this one, which I think is really great. Like I've kind of forgot. This is maybe my third watch total since it came out,
Hmm.
and I'd kind of forgotten that it ends with like the Voight becoming a Cenobite. I was like,
Yes.
that's still pretty tight.
Yeah, just getting his skin ripped off of like that would have been. I know we
Peeled
completely go to
back.
that, and that would have been Riley's end eventually, right? She would have become one of them. Uh, but anyway, so she's at the park and playing with it, and um, yeah, instead of them getting
The
her,
spike pops out, but it doesn't get
it
her.
doesn't get her, but
And she takes some pills and passes out, and her brother finds her, and when he grabs it, he gets cut.
But there is a cool like dream sequence with these chains coming out of her chest, ripping her brother up, and like there's like this
Yeah.
kismet thing of
There's
like,
a there's a cool thing where she first starts to kind of glimpse the Cenobites, and then like a symbol carves itself in her chest, and then
mhm.
kind of falls in,
It's
and then
really
chains come
cool.
out. It's very there's like I said, the visual stuff in this is really
Well,
fun. Bruckner, that's really Bruckner's strong suit.
they had to build the chain. Like this is weird. It's not weird. It's just movie making. They had to custom make the chain work because they were like chains from a Home Depot like store. They have a certain look,
Yeah,
but you can't go actually buy what you think you look like. So they had to actually like painstakingly like cast and make the
create
chains.
a new
And I was
chains
like,
that
that's
look right
really
on film.
there's a lot of little like detail like this in this movie you learn. We're like, wow, they did. Or like Clive Barker's paintings are in the background, but they were like, he would send them to him and be like, here you guys go. And but they cover them up, being like, if you're an Eagle Eyed viewer, they're there in like the mansion, but we're not showing you beforehand. Be like,
Right, we're
this,
not like cramming them down your throat. Like, hey, remember this? Look at this.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, so her brother goes there and gets done, and he has a sick scene and this is kind of we get our first glimpse of the Cenobites and a little bit of our Hellraiser with Jamie Blank. Um,
yes. The Hell Priest, I believe, is what
Hell
they call her.
Priest, yes,
That's what they always called Pin. We call him Pinhead because that's the colloquialism, but
but
you think he was always the Hell Priest.
I think you're right. I mean, in the first movie, they're all kind of nameless. They're not even supposed to be from hell in the first movie.
They're just like some kind of interdimensional
Yeah,
pain S&M
yeah.
like
Like
monsters.
it's I'm only getting this because of the guys in the doc I talked about. Like it literally shifts to go like to be like almost matures into a Christianity type of version of hell the more
Yeah.
the movies progress and became popular. But
Yeah,
like
because I would say the second one also still feels like a different dimension, but it doesn't feel like hell.
originally
You
it's
know?
more like sci-fi, like a different dimension, and
Yeah.
they're not like hell. Eventually they are, so we could stick with that. And I think this one and blending the two, like how they come out of the ground and they're like fucking there's that one that's like the MC Escher painting, like when you first see him in this scene walk out
Yeah.
and you see him down and there's just staircases everywhere down below. Sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um
awesome. It looks great.
so anyway, yeah, so her brother meets his fate just getting sucked through ripped apart and sucked through like a drain hose or whatever.
Yeah. And of
Uh
course, she doesn't see that happen. He just disappears. There's blood around, and he's just gone. And then I still think her brother's boyfriend's being pretty nice to her, honestly.
yeah, yeah, he like he's the one guy who also
I
just
mean, he does eventually get frustrated with her, but he's being pretty. He's
he's
taking it better than I would probably.
being pretty nice, and he also like where we're going to like they all follow him a little too quick. Like it's quick. The movie has to move, but they're all like, all right, sure, yeah, let's be the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, when they show up when she's at the mansion by herself and they just all show up there is so funny to me. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't one thing that really struck me the first time or whatever, but I was watching it this time. I was like, that's kind of dumb.
yeah, it is. It is.
Because I was thinking, I was like, how did they get there? Did she go back and get them? What? How's
Like
that?
we
And
should
then they showed up. I was like, oh, they just show up.
maybe we cut the beginning scene and then add a scene of how they could get there in between.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the movement in this movie, like it's questionable. Because they go to so anyway, this disappearance, and then all things happen pretty quickly. Like
I
she,
wrote after her brother, her brother has like not been gone 12 hours
yeah,
probably. And I wrote, she goes to Trevor to fuck her mind off things.
yes, she really does.
It's
Just
pretty much what it is.
bangs it out of him, and then they eventually talk, and Trevor's
Yeah.
like, no,
Well,
no, no,
she's laying there post coital and she sees some Cenobite shit, of course,
yeah,
and
and
freaks
she's
her
like,
out. So they decide to she tells him what's been going on with her brother finally or whatever, and they decide to track down who owned the warehouse or whose name's on the
Yes.
warehouse.
And this is a
And this is
cool
where they
scene.
find the lady we saw at the beginning.
And she's just old, like dying of like lung cancer, and
Yeah, it's been 6 years. She's in some kind of like hospice. She's
yeah.
like in like a care facility of
Honestly,
some kind.
this, like I said, this more felt like a scene, and I like this scene a lot. But to give us the like callback in a hospital and have some more, another
Yeah,
person get killed by the Cenobites. So she 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 throws the puzzle box around. Also in this movie, she holds that puzzle box thing around just like a cell phone, like a cell phone she don't care
yeah.
about.
And it's some of its configurations. It looks like it would be heavy. It gets kind of big. Like there's a couple
There's some
configurations where
weight.
it spreads, and it's like the thing is like a soccer ball. It's like you're just carrying that thing around,
So
and it's got
what?
spikes just randomly popping out of it. I don't know, man.
So the old lady kind of explains of like, yeah, no, I was facilitating this thing for this guy, this rich guy, Voight,
I think it's Voight. Isn't it
Voight.
Voight?
Yeah, this guy Voight, and until he met his end, and now I'm here. I locked that up on purpose. Stay away.
Yeah, she's like, it wasn't. We didn't forget it. It was left there to hide it.
Yeah, and which might be suspicious. Uh,
Yeah. And this
and
is one. This is the first kill where we get like a more extended version look, a more extended look at the Cenobites, and
yeah,
like a little more of like getting into their dimension. She gets kind of more dragged into their world a little
well, she
bit.
cuts herself. The old lady cuts herself on the
Of
puzzle
course, well, they're
boxes and
fighting
other
over it.
things.
She
They're
tries to
fighting.
take the box from Rye, and of course
And
they're
I'm like,
fighting
Riley,
over it. And the lady gets
you
cut.
dummy, you dumb. Just leave it alone. Your
Let
brother's
her
dead.
have it. Why? I thought the problem was the box. Let her have the
You,
box.
your brother's dead. You're dead.
Yeah,
And
maybe focus up, guy.
and so we get to see her extended sequence, like you said, and that there's like a wheel with like skin pellets on it, which is real cool. And she's going through like the labyrinth almost before she
Yeah,
meets her
like yeah,
end.
like you see stuff that looks very Hellraisery. Like if you remember like the kind of wood thing with all the hooks spinning and like just the
Yes.
meat parts on it. There's that kind of vibe to it for
Um,
sure.
and this isn't the this. So I real quick I want to talk about the Jamie Clayton who does Hellraiser, who is the Hell Priest,
Mhm.
and like I was saying, I love the design of this iteration of our Cenobites and Hellraiser. I don't love the voice.
Yeah, I mean,
Like there's a
it's a little auto tune.
yeah, they're definitely I know what they're going for. I like it. I want to see more of her as her Hellraiser.
I'd love to get another one of these. I'm sure we won't,
Then we
but
won't, but they left it open. Actually, in that doc, they put a thing there like we left this intact to be played with whoever wants to make more of these in this world. Like
yeah,
it's
if
not.
someone could come along and make some more.
They're like it's not ours to. I'm gonna make one. And one thing it got big notes and vibes from Bruckner is he just wishes he had more time and budget and
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
like you could just tell in the way you could tell the featurette they made was made for this thing,
yeah.
and like it's a couple
Like
years late.
made a couple years after the fact, and
Yeah,
like with a little bit of like hindsight on it.
that's what it feels like because he's just like we had 45 days though the ending with him turning into the Cenobite being ripped apart. He's like I had half a day to film that and we had to make sure it's
Yeah.
perfect and
Oh yeah, it very much looks like it's done on a green screen,
yeah,
but it's pretty good.
and he was like we're working in Serbia and we're doing these shots, but because there's VFX and this, I guess, had a release date or something, like we had to send these things in what we think might be the best one for guys to start working on the VFX, even if we don't know. It seemed like you could tell in his recanting of the filming of like, I would like to
Yeah,
do this movie. You tell he probably was like, I needed 65 days to make this movie, not
yeah,
45 in
and maybe another
Serbia.
10 million. Maybe
Yeah,
another
I
10
mean, I'm
million.
looking here, it says 14. and it went to Hulu, so it probably had barely a marketing budget to begin with.
14 is so cheap. Oh my God. I can't
Yeah,
believe how with this movie they got away with that. That's robbery.
yeah.
Um,
So anyway, but uh, yeah. So that's her second person. So they're just keeping
yeah,
count.
they
There's
get her, and then they do a little more research into Voight after
yeah,
this. They find out that leading up to his disappearance, there was a series of other disappearances. Like, and she's starting to put it together, like that's like what's going on here. The box got these people, or whatever, whatever's happening to us is happening to them. And so they decide that she's gonna like, and they find out about the mansion, and Trevor's trying to kind of discourage her, but she decides she's gonna go to the mansion alone. Um, she does. She gets in, she flips a couple switches and figures out how the house works a little bit. Um, and then she gets into like the notes and finds like his she does have a vision of like classic skinless person, which I really like that they got that in here too, which is like a big Hellraiser thing. And then
seeing it.
she finds the notes, and this is where they I wrote down the different configurations, so we can just talk real quick about those.
That's what I'm
Um,
looking for while you were talking. By the way, I'm listening.
yeah, the original box, is the lament configuration. That's what it's always been called.
Hmm.
Um, that also, it's next to that, it has the word life, lament, the life configuration. The second one is lore. That's for knowledge. The third one is L'Odorant, which is love. That's the kind of star shaped one we see. Um, then there's Liminal, that's for sensation. Lazarus, resurrection, and that's the one we see in the first scene where it's kind of the box, but kind of stretched and twisted a little bit.
Hmm.
And then the final one, which is another one we've seen in the original run, is the Leviathan, the final form, power. And if you unlock this final form, you receive what is known as an audience with God. And basically, you can ask for anything. You can ask for your heart's desire.
You need 6 sacrifices for all.
Right. But that's to get to the lament or the Leviathan, the final configuration. It requires a sacrifice at each level to get
Hmm.
the box to change to go through all the configurations.
Yeah, it's a cool
Like I said
set.
before, I think all that stuff is really cool. I think the addition not only of what the other configurations are, what they could be, what they could mean, but also even the designs of them look great.
Well, even when we
They got
get
some really cool
to
stuff going on there.
yeah, even when we get to Leviathan and like it's a dagger almost, right? And it's
Yeah, it's
coming, or it's a crystal, and it's coming down. It's like breaking into the house and going through, and it looks great.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Um,
And like I said, that's the only one we had ever seen. That's in Hellraiser 2. We see the Leviathan. So I'm really glad they brought that back.
so
And then it's after this, after she's done this research, is when her friends just pop in. The Scooby Gang gets there.
yeah,
We need
like
we
this is
need
the
the plot to
mansion.
move along. We can't wait for her to go find them, they just need to show up.
Yeah, and you know what? It's fine. And it's weird. These movies, I always like whenever we talk things like that. I'm like, I feel like my description's always like, and then there's a big commotion for a while, and some things happen, and then because that is one thing of this is also my third watch of this movie. Since now, that is my one, and I really like this movie. That is like one of my few criticisms. It does have some lag of like middling. I'm like, like that. Just like okay, some shenanigans are going on, and
Yeah,
I'm having fun, and then it picks back up again.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's a tough thing because it's like there's some stuff in here that does feel a little like maybe unnecessary, but also there's like some good, I don't want to lose Nora's Van death and stuff like that. That's like my favorite one. You know
So,
what I
oh
mean?
no, that's
So
not what I'm talking about of the
no,
jumping.
I know what you mean though. It's like how do you cut and how do you
But
edit
you
and how do
don't,
you
but you don't, and you kind of need it. So, like, yeah, they're there, and the Cenobites have now become more released onto them. That's when you get them, like you said earlier, like chasing
well, right.
after
Someone
her.
got the box. Someone's definitely like we see somebody like snag the box and open it and use it and attack Nora with it. They like cut her with it.
Hmm.
And that's when what you're like basically they try to get her out of there, and there's that great scene I love where the basically she sees the van expanding and them kind of like getting so far away they disappear, and then it's all of a sudden just a hallway, like a normal distance, in the normal
Hmm.
distance, and you have Nora's death scene, which is really cool.
And
And then I
Nora,
love the idea too of she catches a glimpse of it in the rearview mirror. Like you wouldn't be able to see it if you look back there, but somehow she like looks through and she gets like a little
and
glimpse of
Riley
what's going
sees a little
on.
bit of it too.
Yeah.
And they said also that that Nora death, that was the big one, that they were like, this is our big chain, like this is
Well,
what
right.
we're.
This is that one felt the most like a classic. I think I even wrote down um
Yeah,
something
apparently.
about the classic Hook. Yeah, Hook on prop for Nora gets the first proper on-screen hook and chain torture.
Yeah,
That's what
the
I noted
yeah
there.
the oh, she's right here
A
actually.
hallmark of the franchise.
Right here.
Oh yeah, there.
It's blurred because of the thing, but it's right there. Um, no, she and that one, it was like listening to the thing like they had dude. She was all like stringed up or like with the fake chains, and like there was just guys. But I think really were like we could have pulled her any which way we wanted as the actor like doing it, because
Yeah.
like that's how, like that's neat. That's so neat to do anyway. Um, no, that's such a fun death, and good part of this movie. And then after like, they realize, okay, they're going back to the house and they're trying the
Yeah, of
gates.
course they crash the car. That because the stuff with Nora makes them crash their van, and they're gonna go back because they do have a second vehicle there because they came separately, so that's
Hmm.
nice.
And they're able to catch one of the Cenobites in the gate.
Right, she tries to throw away the box, and again, this felt like a very classic Hellraiser thing, where the Hell Priest shows up to kind of tempt her.
Well, no,
She's like,
yeah, and she
she's
stabs.
already Rye's already kind of got the idea in her head that possibly the box can be used to resurrect her brother. But then after the shit with Nora, she's like, not worth it. I'm chucking the box. I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah,
But the Hell Priest shows up, and she's like, I know what you really want. I know
it's
what you
that's
want
such
your
a
brother
neat
back, and it can do, and the box can do
it's
it.
such a neat scene because it reminds you right of like when OG Pinhead talks to Christy in the first one,
Hmm.
and it's like, all right, you could stop this stuff right now if you wanted to. Like that's
Yeah.
because in the first the OG always it felt like you know Pinhead was always just like, Frank fucked us over. We want Frank.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here messing with you.
Right.
And
Like, just give us what we want, Frank and Julia, and.
and that's why in this, like, so the comparison is, I feel like they're a little more mischievous, a little more like, no, 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 we want you, Riley, but
We want all the
we
we want
want
everybody.
everyone,
We want you and all your
right?
friends, and
Like they're a
we'll
little
be glad to
more,
like trick you and trap
and
you and try to.
there's some line that the Hell Priestess used of like we're serving your God. We want to serve your God. We want everything to serve our God.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that conversation like on the like it's like on a bridge kind of, it's very
Yeah.
dreamlike.
Yeah. And she just basically is like, listen, two more sacrifices and you can get your brother back,
Yeah.
or it's going to be you. Because she does cut her hand on the box. She's like, now we have your blood. You're on the list.
Hmm.
So now you either have to give us two more or you're
But
next.
you've made it this far, so
Right. And you've got two friends right here. You've got two more people. You could,
mhm.
and to her credit, she doesn't obviously want to do it. This is where we get Hellpriest raises big chatter, giant chatter,
Yeah.
who's like huge. He's like 7 feet tall. He's enormous.
And
Um,
that's when she learns like,
they
oh, I could.
trap him like or they trap themselves the same way as they do in one of the Jurassic Park movies, where the gate like closes the wrong way and makes a little triangle where they're
Mhm.
inside it and he's on the outside trying to get him. I thought
Yeah.
that was fun.
And she realizes she stabs one of them with the box. It will subdue it, or at least that's what.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. There's a moment there that also again feels a little bit like original Hellraiser, where where Kirsty kind of tricks them a little bit. Where when she stabs the Chatter with the thing, Hell Priest gives like a little smirk as being like, "Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
I see you. All right, game recognized, game." And kind of begrudgingly destroys Chatter. Like Chatter becomes the sacrifice, like a little
Yeah.
almost. But there is a kind of like, all right, fair. You got me on that one. Like, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, I told you two more sacrifices, thinking you'd give me up your friend, and you killed my buddy, my little demon buddy.
And yeah, so they just move back into the mansion, and the gate's shut.
Trevor's been injured. Chatter almost gnaws Trevor's arm
Oh
off.
yeah, chat. It's fucking Trevor.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that they go to find him help or go find him something, and this is when Voight pops back up. He's been in the house the whole time. He's the one who attacked
And he
Nora
has
with the
this
box.
he has this insane what do they call it? Oh god, it's like
I
he has
forget
like
what they call it. Yeah, it's some kind of contraption, but it's like woven into his
yeah,
body.
it's
Um,
there was a name of it. Did I write it down? Um anyway, yeah, there's a huge like contraption that was
well, you
put
look that
into
up. I was gonna say we can talk about the reveal, which is that Trevor's been in on it the whole time.
hmm
That basically Voight uses these sacrifices, what we already knew, these sacrifices, but it was happening, and Rye was kind of supposed to be the first one. He was supposed to kind of feed her to the box to start this cat to be the catalyst, but she ended up starting it instead. But he's kind of like, who the fuck cares? It still worked. It's still happening. Like
Oh,
you're getting what you wanted.
oh, Voight's like, this is great.
Yeah. But this is where he explains that he used his previous wish on his audience with God to ask for sensation, thinking that sensation meant pleasure, but not really. Have you looked at a Cenobite?
The
I love when
loom.
she says we're explorers in the realm of sensation or
Oh, it's
something like
awesome.
that.
It's
It's
awesome.
like that's a great
There's
line,
some,
and I was like, yeah, of course they don't do pleasure, they do pain, dum dum.
yeah.
Like,
It's by the way,
but the
it's called the
explanation that it's at random it like runs these wires through his spine at random intervals so he can never get used to it.
mhm.
It's
It's
like
called
so
the
it's
loom.
randomized so that he can never like start to
He's
get
just been
so
suffering.
fucking weird.
It's called the
Yeah.
loom.
Constant endless suffering. Yeah.
Um, and I note this, and this might happen in a sequel, but for the purpose of this, it doesn't in my mind. Our
Yeah.
Hell Priestess, when she's with her torturing Nora, finally getting to see using one of the pins in Pinhead to use, and that
Yeah.
goes right with the, you're saying of, just like, oh, but we have such pleasure to show you, and we like to explore the body of like, there's things you humans don't even know,
Oh,
being
the
like
way she puts the needle like through her
through her,
vocal cords while
yeah,
she's screaming to like
just being
almost
like,
play her like a pain instrument.
yeah, and the pain
it's,
is
it's it's very cool.
pleasure,
It's very Hellraiser.
and it's like, yeah, it's crazy to say, yeah, I guess you wouldn't know if sticking nails in your fingertips that you wouldn't know that pain because you're a normal human being.
Right. But we have
Um
such sights to show you.
and so that's their mission. But they're doing that currently with Voight and this loom. And yeah, it's just
Yeah.
quartering
So that's
back
his
and
whole
forth.
deal why he wants to try again to get this fucking thing out of him.
Because they gave it to him. And he's just been living in that mansion trying to survive. And so Trevor's a piece of shit.
they
And
they have a plan to attempt to lure in a Cenobite to do like to make that the final sacrifice, to
yeah.
kill one of them with the box, make that the final sacrifice and get their wish. That's Rye's plan here. She's figured out how to use the switches to close the doors.
But
They're gonna trap one of them,
but
and they're gonna use the one.
as she's running through it to get there, and she does trap one, she drops the box. The boyfriend.
Yeah, Voight grabs the box and stabs Colin, the boyfriend, with it.
Well, yeah, but yeah, he can't. Colin can't find it. Like Voight like takes it in secret and then
Yeah,
stabs Colin, um, who hangs in there for a long time.
Hey, he's a final girl. He survives.
Colin goes through the most torture, I would say, in the sense that like where we're going right through in the final confrontation with Trevor, Colin, and Odessa and the priestess. He's getting all like stretched out and like
Yeah,
wrapped up. And like Trevor's like, well, and then she's like, no, and just stabs Trevor with the box. And,
yeah.
I know I'm kind of running through it right now, but then is given her final, they're all good. And the Hell Priestess, the rest of the Cenobites, all right, it's your time. You go through, what do you want? Do you want Leviathan? Do you want Lord? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
And
wait, hold on. We guys go back one just for 1 second, because Voight, because he's the one who stabs Colin and gets the final consider, or gets the final. Or no, he does get that configuration though because he gets his wish. He takes the thing out of him, right? But Colin doesn't die. Who gets? Trevor is the final sacrifice. He dies,
Trevor's the last sacrifice, but
and then
Odessa,
that gives Voight the chance to ask to get the thing out of him,
hmm
right? Which he
I
does.
just took that
But then there's
as
instantly, I guess what I wanted to get to was the giant chain from space that comes and gets him. That's like huge,
well, that's Leviathan coming down
right? But
to
isn't there's
get
like a chain too, like a big, like Leviathan's so big it's up in the sky, and then there's a chain that is the size that
food.
is appropriate
Yes,
to come
and
from
it's
him.
coming through
That is like
that ever
that like
expanding.
the links on it would be like this big, right? They'd
Yeah,
be like
it
that.
would take.
I'm just saying the chain comes out and like hits him and like impales him like into the ground. It's
Yeah,
insane.
so
I just didn't want
um,
to skip over that. I loved giant chain. I was like, hell
no,
yeah! Like I've seen a lot of chain work in the Hellraiser movies, but I've
but
never
not
seen
a
giant.
giant chain. No, that you're right there. But to I thought all this stuff was done, and the Cenobites equally are like, all right, Voight, you get your wish.
Yeah,
We're gonna
but
rip
it's also
we're gonna
like
rip
that
your
thing where
flesh off.
maybe opening the box, like open the box once, you get a wish. Open the box twice, like no, you're a Cenobite now. You've played too much.
Yeah, that's all I felt it was. Like he was
Yeah,
getting that, and he had his conversation about getting his loom removed, and they're like, okay, guy, we'll take care
yeah,
of you. You
yeah.
get the big chain coming up, and
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, tough guy wanted the loom, and now he's not so tough." Well, guess what? You're coming
you want your
home,
dick
buddy.
skin ripped off.
We're calling in that. We're calling in that favor.
You
That
want your
that's
dick
you're
skin
done.
ripped off, and then getting crucified.
Oof, yeah. They
Uh
don't even just rip it off. They like peel it back. Ugh, gruesome.
Peel it all. But no, so we get that, and Riley is just like, I don't want anything. And they're like, so you rather live a life with all this guilt and everything you've seen, and I'm not even gonna include Trevor in this. A death of 5 people.
Yeah, and that's lament to live with your pain,
Yeah,
to dwell on it, to think about it
and
for the rest of your life.
she could still be back.
Yeah, she
Like
can still survive.
they could still come back
Does
for
she
her.
take the box with her too?
No, I
When
think
she her and Colin leave, do they leave the
they leave
box?
the box.
Okay, I didn't think she took it with
My
her.
question is, what's gonna happen to Colin? Because it already got his blood.
Yeah, he's definitely marked.
Does he get the like it sucks that I've been doing this
I
truly that
can't
I'm
remember
comparing.
how I should have been paying closer. I don't know how I missed how he went from Voight stabbing Colin to him getting to ask for what he wanted. If there wasn't a
Let's
because
see.
the final sacrifice doesn't happen until Trevor, and then
Let's
she gets the wish. How did he get the wish to take the loom out?
I'm listening.
Or is this thing where they like acted like they were going to give him what he wanted and then just like took him and made him a Cenobite? I don't know. Maybe that's
I
just it.
just think they took him and made him a Cenobite.
Yeah.
Wait, Colin, but Riley retrieves the box, unlocks the steel door, and rescues Colin from torture by stabbing Trevor, marking him as the final sacrifice. Meanwhile, the priest warns Voight that his reward can only be exchanged and not revoked. He accepts
Ah,
her
okay.
offer of power and is released from the contraption and
And
healed.
that's what it is. He exchanged it for power, which is what and power is getting to be made into a Cenobite.
Yeah, to be a little buddy, to be one
Yeah.
of.
And also, power comes from the Leviathan, and that's why Leviathan shoots the giant chain through him.
Hmm. Hmm. He gets his spine really,
Okay,
really.
good. That's the I. He didn't need like a second wish. That's she told him like it can't be it can be, but it can be exchanged. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the final wish ends up going to Rye after she stabs
Hmm.
Trevor, who
But yeah,
deserved it.
Colin definitely is my big question
I'm
of
glad we cleared that up. I would have been confused.
is it's actually a really strong Wikipedia plot write up.
Yeah, very good, very
Um,
good.
but I was just as for the listener, I was just like keep it here just in case we do have that minute to be go. Oh
No,
shit.
no, I'm glad. Yeah, it worked out well. I'm glad it was
But
there.
um, yeah, I don't know because like you said, it sucks when I do this. People do this like all the originals and this, but I can't help but think of like Hellraiser 1 is a single story at first. Everything's a single story at first back then. And then it's
Sure,
like
sure.
Psych Part 2, they're actually experiencing these visions and the Cenobites still want them.
Yeah.
Like that's what Kirsty's going through in
Yeah,
part 2.
Julia escapes too, so that's another thing. They
But
want her
like
back.
but like even on her own, Kirsty's just going through like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm seeing the labyrinth and they're there and I don't know what to do. It has nothing to do with Julia. Julia's on her own.
Oh yeah. Got
Um
her own plot going. No, they're
so
just a little unfinished business. They didn't. Well, that's the thing. They don't like being tricked.
so is this movie, yeah, and I don't think our Hell Priestess liked
She's
Kirsty's.
definitely not going to like Colin getting away if he's been marked. You know what I mean? That's not going to sit well.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll never see. Like, I don't think we're,
Yeah, unfortunately,
unless,
even if they do another Hellraiser, it won't be a follow up to this. It'll be something else.
now,
It'll be a remake of the original.
Odessa Zuna is like becoming a star, a straight up star.
Yeah, she's not going to come back to do another Hellraiser.
She'll say, yeah, give
And like I
me,
said, and I don't think this was successful enough that they would even follow up on it. If they did another one, they would probably do a remake, unfortunately.
yeah, really. I mean, we'll get another
Excuse me.
Hellraiser to sequel question mark. Um, yeah, I mean, you can't trust uh as a few people reading somewhere. This is what people tune in for, me going through Reddit to see. A producer said there, I guess there's like talks and blah blah blah. But they say that shit about everything,
Yeah, they
right?
always say there's so many projects that are like half starting. You'll go on IMDb and you'll see shit that's like never gonna happen, or versions of movies that already exist that like were like these fake, or you'll be like, that's not a thing.
Hmm.
Or it got made in a different way or something. I don't know. But either way,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen this continue, or I would have loved to see this bring like kind of some respectability back to the Hellraiser
as of
franchise.
March
But
as of March 2024, producer said a sequel is indeed in the works. So they said that 2 years
almost two
after,
full years ago now.
and 2 years after the release. So who
Yeah,
knows? Also,
striking while the iron's hot, there, guys.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in that too. With Hulu becoming Disney Plus in the matter of months, you know, I don't know. I
Yeah,
would
I
love,
don't know what we're gonna do about what we're gonna see from Hulu originals anymore. Um,
but oh, that's why this article exists. That producer also had something to do with the first Omen
oh, okay.
and was asked that in the interview. So of course he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make it crazier in this." I hope
I
so.
just got the Shout Factory Omen box set and rewatched the first one. I know that's a classic episode we did back in the day, but
Oh wait, no,
goddamn, I love the Omen.
we talked about
We did the trilogy.
all three. I still gotta buy. Did First Omen ever come out on physical?
I don't know if it ever had a physical release. It was pretty good, man. I really did not like that fucking Quiet Place action movie ending that they gave it. That was real dumb. The like, we're going to war. I'm gonna team up with Damien.
Hi, Mister. Hi, Gregory Peck.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get de-aged. CGI Gregory Peck's gonna show up in the second Omen.
Um, But
Oh no, it'd be called something dumber than that. First Omen 2.
um, oh fuck, you know what's really funny about this stuff? I just did a Google this future thing all on here. One little blurb at the end of this Wikipedia that I didn't scroll down for.
Yeah.
Just the same thing, yeah. Just 2024 confirmed there's some developments with Bruckner. Great, give it
Yeah.
to me.
Has Bruckner done a movie since this? I don't think he
I
has.
thought
I don't
he'd.
feel like. Did he have another release come out since this?
Does it count? VHS, one of the VHS. He's
Oh, he
been.
did a VHS segment. Okay,
He did
yeah.
a VHS. No, yeah, 85 and 23, but nothing. Nothing.
Just that
Nothing
one too. He
crazy.
hasn't been doing. He didn't do anything for the other because they're doing VHS like every year now
Yeah, and
recently.
he's been involved since the first one.
Oh, he was one of the original guys. Okay.
He did one segment in the
I'll
first
tell you what. I
one.
went back. I think we've talked about this. I think the first VHS is kind of one of the weakest ones now. Like I go
Hmm.
back and I'm like, yeah, this is all right, but
So
I think some of the newer ones they've done have been a little bit better.
he did VHS first one and then doesn't do a VHS until 90 now like the 94,
The
99,
new ones, yeah,
85s.
the Shutter ones, yeah.
So I don't
Hey,
know.
I'll never shit on the VHS movies, like good, bad, or ugly. I'm just glad to have good horror anthologies anymore. You know what I mean? So few horror anthologies, one of my favorite things. Love a good, three or four
Few with
tight little
actual like
stories.
production too. I mean, there's so many,
Yeah.
but few that actually get a little get a little juice, get a little sauce, get a little
A little
sauce.
sauce on that. A little sauce on it.
But no, I'm excited. I'm excited to I'm always excited for new David Bruckner. He's shown, like you said, with The Ritual and Night House and Hellraiser.
Oh, like just incredible stuff, really. I mean,
Um
really. Ritual's so good, and Night
I
House too. Night House is a hard one because it's a sad watch. Like she's so sad in it. And Rebecca Ferguson's such a good actress that you're like,
Rebecca
I'm
Hall.
getting very sad. Or Hall, right? Sorry,
I
I'm getting very sad watching
that
her.
was one where I watched, and it's in that sad camp where, like, when it came time, like, I think there was a good deal, and I saw it was up to buy, and I went, I don't think I'm gonna buy it because I don't think I'm ever actually gonna watch it because it's such a bummer.
Yeah, I think I did buy it more as like a Bruckner completionist kind of thing, where I
I
was like, it's
mean,
so good. I want to have his work. He's an artiste.
never say never with my collection and buying it. It's not like when my my parents have like no Blu-rays or anything, but she was like they were cleaning the house, and for some reason they had a Blu-ray of the that what was that Patriots Day, that fucking like terrorist porn.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the Mark
The Clint
Wahlberg.
Eastwood one, the is that the train one?
No, it's the bombing. It's the Boston bombing
Oh, okay,
movie.
yeah,
It's
that
not a
rings a
bad
bell.
movie by no stretch of
I'm sure.
imagination, but it's like that though. It's nothing I ever want to watch again. I
Yeah,
remember mom texted me, be like, "Oh no, just take it. It's for your collection." I just go, "No, just like donate it." Like she's no, you can
yeah.
add it.
Put it to Goodwill.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to. I'm good.
Yeah,
It's a bummer.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, but the thing is, like, your collection isn't a bin where everything goes. It's supposed to be a finely tuned, a honed, perfect representation of your taste.
of course.
You can't just be letting any old Tom, Dick, or Harry in. You gotta.
So let's give a little final thought. I think we both know what we're saying.
Oh yeah, I think I gave this 4 stars on Letterbox. I think
I
it's
gave
really
it
pretty solid.
I gave it 4 star as well.
I think it's really solid. I think it's got some great visual flair to it. I think it adds a lot of fun stuff to the lore. Like I really, again, like this is really a high end sequel. Unfortunate, or maybe if you even want to call it a reimagining or uh,
No,
a even a reboot, I
I think it's
guess.
a reboot, and
Technically a reboot. It has no real connection to the other one, so I guess it's technically a
I
reboot.
think it's a
But
reboot, but it's all
it's a reboot, but it's definitely not a remake.
no, it's not a remake. It's a reboot. It takes the ideas, it does what a reboot should do, and it's made well with
Yeah.
with a great director, and
it definitely justifies its existence with the new lore and the new look for the
it's also
Cenobites, and it's like,
any Hellraiser fan. Um, would I want to that didn't like it or like has poor criticism of it? There's valid criticisms. We put some through this
oh yeah,
this
I mean it's not a
conversation,
perfect movie. No movie is.
but what I want to, I guess, leave it on is look at this comparatively to all the fucking slop that comes after. We'll say conservatively four, right? Like
Yeah.
four. Do you just want more of that because it looks like vaguely Doug Bradley and they're
Right, because
trying to do
Doug
the
Bradley
same,
shows up 5 minutes at the end and says something in his voice, and you're like, you clap like a fucking seal. You know what I
like
mean? Or
like
or
they're
would you rather see something that had some ideas and
like
some
this had like,
flair? And
I mean, we rattled through so many of it, but there was like thought and ideas in it in this, and it also wasn't just cheap fan service.
yeah,
So I like it. I like it a lot. Like I say, if we call
yeah,
this
and also
fucking
I would also say it compares favorably to your other reboots and legacy sequels in horror. Like, put
Mhm.
it up against the new Halloween trilogy. Put it up against some of these other remakes. I think it
put it
stands. I
put
think
it
it looks
right
pretty
there.
good. I think
Put it
it
right
stands
there
up
with
pretty well.
put it right there. Maybe like a notch under, but like put it right there with Prey. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
100%. Oh, the
uh,
fact that this and Prey came out like within a year of each other, like you'd have thought that like Hulu Originals was like the hottest thing.
man, I wonder. I bet you this would have done okay if it wasn't
Oh hell,
COVID.
on
If
name
COVID,
recognition alone, I think it would have done all right.
but yeah, this right there will be like. But this is actually a good movie, even though how much I do love the movie to mention. I think for years to come, this is going to be right up there for me with if it wasn't called Halloween 3 and just Season of the Witch, if you just called this fucking movie Hell Priestess or Leviathan,
Yeah.
you're you, people would go, that was pretty good.
Or the thing like we say about the Wrong Turn, the newest Wrong Turn movie,
Yeah,
where it was like,
it was
man,
great.
you actually hurt this movie by calling it Wrong Turn because people saw it and were like, oh, another Wrong Turn sequel.
Yeah,
And what it really was a really smart and fun horror movie, and you
I
fucked up.
I know I'm trying to wrap up here, but it's so funny. This October, I was like, I'm gonna watch all the Wrong Turn movies. I got like three in, and I just stopped. I was like, nah,
Nah,
I'm
the first one is only a passable Hills Have Eyes knockoff.
I think it's the second one. It was so much more fun of that type of movie.
Oh
There's
yeah,
one, I think it's two. And I think the three or four is like they're in like a reality show competition and like it's just
that's
honestly what I notice is they're all just schlock to show tits and some gore and
yeah,
slap an unrated label on a DVD and sell a few copies to some like 14
yeah,
year
yeah.
olds.
To the horror fans who will eat up anything because they've got no taste.
So, but that remake's awesome. We should cover that. Maybe that'll be next. We both own it.
Wrong Turn. Ooh, man, the Foundation.
Is that the
Good
name?
one.
Did they give it a sub name?
I think
I thought it was
maybe
just Wrong Turn.
I think it might just be wrong. I want to. I got that from maybe that's just my thing where I would have called it the Foundation because that's kind of the name of the the cult or whatever in it. I think
Yeah, just
so.
call it
Maybe that's why
Wrong.
it's on my mind. But I
No, it
feel like
is. It
maybe
is.
also
It's also known as Wrong Turn the Foundation.
okay. I was gonna say I feel like maybe it was a subtitle I saw somewhere, or maybe maybe a poster from a different country had it on there or something.
Another COVID release. All right. We will maybe talk about that later. That's for after. Brian,
Oh,
we're
thank you, brother, for having me as
yes.
always.
As always, thank you for being my co-host. Don't thank me. We'll
That's
s-
true.
yeah,
But I do. I thank you for the, being here to have this conversation with,
yes.
and for not abandoning me when I was being lazy about coming back to the show. And
Listen. We're all getting back into the swing of it. So I'll leave you with this. Stay frightful. Good night. Goodbye. Whoa.